They announced the new Star Wars Episode 8. It's called The Last Jedi, and I like that a lot. I think it sounds really cool. And I just want everyone to know The Last Jedi can be singular or plural. I know a lot of you guys know that. It could be singular and plural. I have a whole bunch of thoughts about this. I'm really excited. I want to share it all. I also want to get it up as soon as possible. So I have my notes on the screen. If you see my eyes wandering, it's because I'm checking out my notes, not checking out some babe outside. No, I'm just kidding. Dad, come on. Anyways, like in The Force Awakens opening crawl, they refer to Luke as the Last Jedi. Just one Jedi on an island by himself, talking to animals maybe. But the Last Jedi can also be referring to a group of people. Like, for example, these little bastards, who I made a video about theorizing how they all become trained in the Force by the end of episode 9 and start to swing around lightsabers to sell more toys. Check that video out. Okay, let's get into it. I used to think Return of the Jedi meant Return of the Jedi as in the plural sense of the Jedi teachings and followers. Like, after being hunted and destroyed for decades, the Jedi have finally returned in the form of the new Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, and, at the time, Leia as well. And whichever kids, anybody wants to swing around a lightsaber and learn the Force, yes, the Jedi have returned. But now I know after 30 years since we last saw Luke, and some adjustments to what is canon, there's still no Jedi, other than the Last Jedi, Luke. So that being said, Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, is now kind of Episode 6, Return of the Last Jedi, because the Jedi have clearly not returned since Episode 8 is now called The Last Jedi. But that's the thing, because Yoda was essentially the Last Jedi until Luke finished his training. Then Yoda died, and now Luke is actually the Last Jedi, but in some ways he yearned to be more of the first Jedi, in the sense that he will be rebuilding the Jedi Order. The Last Jedi, if it's referring to Luke, it would be strange then to have an episode called Return of the Jedi. Since we know the Jedi have not returned, we can cancel it out being plural. That title is now referring to just Luke Skywalker, the Jedi who has returned after blowing up the Death Star and losing in a duel to Darth Vader. He's returned and he chokes people now. It's not news that he's the Last Jedi. What would be news would be if the Last Jedi was plural for Episode 8. Or it could be a double meaning. It could be singular and plural. So it's referring to Luke, like they did already in The Force Awakens. But if he makes a new Jedi Order, well then this crew would also be the Last Jedi. Or the cartoons constantly reference other beings that are not Sith and Jedi. The Jedi Order isn't an online cooking show where you can just pick up a spatula and say you're a chef. The Jedi is a teaching. It's something you earn and you learn, and some people fail. So Sith and Jedi, it's a decision. There were gray Jedi, there were Force users that aren't Sith. If that's the case, then the Last Jedi could be referring to Luke, but I still believe that he would teach a new generation. Maybe Luke isn't about that Jedi life. Sometimes when I'm kicking back and just tripping thinking about Star Wars, I get to a place. Think about this. The Force is just religion. May the Lord be with you. May the Force be with you. This was done on purpose. Jedi and Sith are just teachings. They even praise the same God. In Star Wars, it's the Force. So since the Jedi ultimately failed, why make the same thing again and again? Maybe Luke doesn't want to do what the Empire did and make the same mistake over and over again by rebuilding the Death Star over and over again. Perhaps he learned a lesson and wants to start a new way. So it would make sense that Luke, who is kind of Force Jesus, or the son of Force Jesus, the Lord, however way you look at it, it would make sense that he would take the Old Testament of Jedi teachings and make it into the New Testament of Jedi teachings. Basically making a whole new religion for the Force, and hopefully one that can balance both the light and the dark side, because that would be really awesome. And it would be really awesome if Luke didn't have to get crucified in the process. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. What do you think of the name of the movie? Who do you think Benicio del Toro's character will be? How dumb are the theories that say Snoke is Mace Windu? Leave me a comment below. I read all of them.